All right, we live.
Oh, let's do it.
Sorry, y'all. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Somebody's old dusty, musty, brusty, busty ass reported us, whatever, like that. You know what I'm saying? Like they tried to say it was like a musical or a musical strike, whatever. But we played Not Like Us plenty of time. I ran the whole song down before and never got a strike. And then the only other music that I play is mine, you know what I'm saying? And I know for damn sure that I own my music. So yeah. So to whoever felt the need to hit the report button, your mama. Let's just say that your mama spent a lot of time in men's locker rooms back in the early days and used to get passed around like a garden tool, a certain garden tool.
She a hoe.
Word.
Hey,
That just be flapping. That just be flapping. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody could walk through like a good subway station, you know what I'm saying? Like a train hole. Anyway, we're back. Like, hey, how's it going, everybody?
It happens. It happens. It happens.
Hey, listen, man. I know for a fact that there's so many other things you could be doing on a Friday night than to be spending your time hating on people trying to do something constructive. You know what I mean? That's what I want to say to the people. If you're mad because you can't be a part no more, find you something to do. Do your own thing. We ain't gonna stop you. We ain't gonna block you. We want to see everybody win. But you want to be a freaky ass nigga, then do you.
Are we talking about Greg?
What the? Hey,
y'all.
Don't be passing like that.
Yeah, they completely took down the video, so they tried to say it was some type of musical thing, whatever. But again, I mean, I don't know.
It is what it is, though.
Yeah,
we can't do anything now, so let's move forward. Let's read. We can talk about some of the positive things like that happened in June and that's gonna happen soon. So,
what's up, Queen? How you doing?
Hey, what up, Queen?
Now, we were talking about, music, which is a favorite subject of mine, and, quick shameless plug, I am back in the studio, Good. So, I'm working on a song. There should be a new song coming within a couple of weeks. I'm 3 songs in as far as like having the songs actually ready to just go record. So I'm just kind of just creating the whole little project, trying to think of what direction I want to take it in. But I got to give, the folks, especially like I just seen like every time that I see like this playlist, there's a fan. I'm not sure where he's at, whatever, but he created a whole playlist that says R.I.P. Jalen Williams, which is my son. And so you know what I'm saying. So for that right there, I mean, it reminds me of the reason why I actually do music for folks like that. You know what I'm saying. So
that's dope.
You know what I mean. Like,
shout out to that brother.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Are you gonna feature Jess on any of the albums?
Yeah, she gonna spit a couple of hot bars.
There we go.
Hey y'all hold it down real quick. Talk about you guys' top 5. I gotta take this call real quick, okay?
All right.
But if you don't tell Trump to go about his business,
I know he got him on speed dial.
We are working, sir. We don't need no photo ops with third in them. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't you go up there and E40 yourself. You know what I'm saying? Waka! You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Are we gonna do the Las Vegas trip soon?
Hey man, we gonna have to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot going on.
You can bring the baby now. You can bring the baby.
Yeah, man, it's a lot going on, man. We y'all might have to go on without me. Save yourself.
Nah, you could come and the queen could drink now. Now she can relax.
No, she can't. Hey, strictly breast milk. We don't.
Yeah.
Oh well,
she can pump and dump.
A little whiskey and breast milk is good for the baby.
No.
Sleeping. Put
she
the baby
can pump and dump.
CPS called on me. You know what I'm saying? No thanks, sir.
And nobody knows anything.
No problem. I don't want that kind of smoke. Now she's not a real drinker anyway. Like even without the kids, she's never really been a drinker. She'll have one and go to sleep, just waste the alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Just wasting the alcohol. She gonna drink and go to bed. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So we already did our top 5 groups. Well, we did top 5 R&B. Yeah, I think I want to go with what Jess said though, like
females and males.
Yeah, because it's
hard.
It's too hard for 5 people all time. That's what I can't predict.
Because I wanted to put Michael Jackson in there, Prince, man.
Oh yeah, shit! I forgot Prince. My damn self, man. Lord, trying to be politically correct and put some women in there. I put Prince in there. Man. We gotta go 7. All right, what's your top 5 women, Jess? Come on, kick it off.
Well, I said the top 5 women first. I'll do the top 5 males. Michael Jackson, Prince. Ooh.
Hey, there we go. Queen said 1 cup is 5. There we go. I'm Team Queen. I'm Team Queen. 1 cup is 5. Little whiskey never hurt no baby.
All right. Let's see. That's hard. So we divided it up into female and male. Top 5.
That's fine. That is okay.
I'm on number 2, and I'm stuck.
We got Michael Jackson and Prince. That's it.
I'll go. Michael Jackson, R. Kelly, Prince, Bob Brown.
Oh, God.
Everybody said Bob Brown.
Bob Brown. Whitney Houston.
Ike Turner.
Yes.
Oh Lord. And they're finna cut us off again. they're finna get us again, man. I don't even think they report us. I think they just report Melvin. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think's going on.
Don't put that Negro back on there.
Hey, y'all, make sure you guys hit the like and share button if you guys are tuning back in. I apologize for the technical difficulty from the last one. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, those are catching up. We caught a hater, you know, so I didn't mean to interrupt, but, you know, we'll go ahead and round this off, and then we're going to start talking about who actually created hip-hop.
Little Richard.
But he created rock and roll.
Same.
Really, Denisha?
Okay.
Queen says Sade, Anita Baker. I'm sorry, I don't like Anita Baker, man. She singing like she yawning.
No, Aretha Franklin.
Denisha said that's that Saturday morning cleanup.
Aretha Franklin. Yeah. What about Aretha Franklin?
Aretha Franklin, that woman got a voice, man. She hard. She's a goat for real. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Aretha Franklin.
Patti LaBelle, like, you know.
Patty's dope too.
Yeah.
It's hard to do 5.
Yeah, let's get off this list stuff, man. Because we gotta do like a top 100. You know what I'm saying? We gotta do a top 50 male
top 5 MCs. Tupac, Jay-Z,
Sly Boogie,
Nas, Snoop,
third,
Andre 3000. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
He definitely was in my top 5. I'm just
that was the third, man. I don't even know why that dude third be rapping. You know what I mean? I don't even know.
What about Dylon? He's part of the 5 greatest rappers.
Hey, me and Dylon about to do a collab. You know what I'm saying?
Dylon.
Please,
me and Dylon about to spit some hot fire. He hot fire. I'm 3rd degree. Yeah.
I spit hot fire. I rip and I rhyme. I rhyme and I rip.
Yeah, please don't do that. We don't need that in our lives. You know what I'm saying? It's so much better than that. You know what I'm saying? You definitely like number You're definitely like number 6 or 7 on my list. You know what I'm saying? But
I
you
appreciate
right there. After the new album, you may be able to, you know what I'm saying, push your way up. Now,
I'm spitting a couple of bars. You know, I like that motivation. Jess was in there with me. She actually heard it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
tell the truth,
I
Jess.
think I got some ish.
Tell the truth, Jess. What is hitting
It
for?
was fire.
Yeah, you gonna leak the first track for us? You know what I'm saying? We need a leak.
She should.
Yeah,
I should have been recording.
we need
The first single is gonna be called Cook. It's gonna be called Cook.
We need thirds unfinished and unmastered.
I'll spit a couple of bars. If you took away the playlist and kept the reels, take a look. I'm still in the mills. You still in your fields, and I ain't got no chill. These niggas fake. They $3 bills. Hate behind my back, smiling in my grill. Looking for a new style that they can steal. These pickle face niggas salty about their deals, getting mad at me because ain't nobody known still. I'm moving units. I really do this. Over 100K, you just a starving student. You ain't playing dumb. I think you're really stupid. You got no expansion. You're making local music.
Okay.
Who
are you talking to, sir? Because I felt slighted right there.
That was personal.
Yeah, I was just, you know what I mean? I don't know what I did to you. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're number 6 now, if that makes you feel any better. You know what I'm saying? Good. You're almost there. Yeah, please
almost
leave me alone.
She said she took the pill. 9 months later, she gave me the bill.
No, bars.
Yo, hey, you know what? No one tried to crunch. That was kind of hard. I can't even front. That was actually kind of hard.
Well, steal it if you want.
Hey, man, you might have to get Ghostwriter credit. They might put me up there with Drake.
My God. My God. What is going on?
Yeah, but the song is called Cook. It should be coming within a couple weeks. Or go back in to put the finishing touches on the mixing and mastering. Then I'm gonna go record maybe 2 more, like, you know, within that hour or so, or the other 2 that I already have ready to go. You know,
I tried to have a rap career. My rap name was Young Fetus, and that didn't work out. Third Trimester Records. I swim better than Michael Phelps. Daddy tried to get the hook. 50 million to 1. Those are all tracks I came up with.
I hate you. I hate
Young
you.
Fetus. Young Fetus in the building. Young Fetus.
So much.
Third Trimester Records.
So we're back, yo. We're back. So
why are you like this, sir?
There's been this whole debate about who was the actual creator of hip hop. You know, from my understanding, I've always believed that it was DJ Kool Herc. You know what I'm saying? Who was spinning records in the park or at a party somewhere in the Bronx. I know it got started in New York, but you know, there's been people who've been trying to spin the narrative or actually trying to change the narrative. And listen to what the teacher, Karis Run, has to say.
Today, people want to downplay the Latino role in hip-hop. Yep. They are so stupid.
Yep. Really?
Hip-hop would not have existed without specifically Puerto Rican. Specifically. Cubans were here, Haitians were here, Dominican Republic was here, everybody was here. All of South America been in the Bronx, okay? But Puerto Ricans in particular sided with the black folk here, and the Jamaicans were coming in as well. And this group of Puerto Ricans, Jamaicans, and American blacks made hip-hop. Not American blacks, not Puerto Ricans, not Jamaicans. All of them made the culture. Today, people want to downplay the Latino role in hip-hop. Yeah. They are.
That made sense. That makes a lot of sense.
And the key word was they made the culture. the culture of hip hop, if anybody wants to know, look it up. It's not just rap.
No.
You're talking about the 5 elements of hip hop.
Yeah, that's the culture.
Yeah, the elements of hip hop: DJing, graffiti, breakdancing.
That's why so many people want to break up. That's why people want to break up the minority communities so that they don't unite like that. Because when we do unite, we make fucking peace. We make magical things. Because people always want to put the Latinos against the blacks when we're all in it together.
Word. Well, hold up.
My problem. Go ahead.
All right. So I do. There is a rebuttal to what Karis once said, and this is coming from Lord Jamar.
And all of these people who are in hip hop, Puerto Rican and Jamaican alike, none of them would be able to do their native thing, okay, within hip hop and be popular. Again, you had to conform to what Black American youth were doing. The slangs, the way you dress, the way you move, all of that. So my brother, Pete Rock, had to sample American music. He couldn't come in sampling Jamaican music, or we wouldn't have fucked with him. As talented as Pete Rock was, he had to sample this soul shit, that James Brown shit. Okay? Like, nobody, no Puerto Rican rapper could come in straight up and just rap in Puerto Rican and win. Rap in Spanish and win. Not in no early hip hop. Now you could be Bad Bunny and be super blown up over there. But does anybody play Bad Bunny over here? Do we play Bad Bunny on American radio? I don't hear the shit. Because he rhyme in Spanish. And again, we don't fuck with that like that. You have to adapt to what we're doing as Black Americans.
So what are your thoughts, my brother?
Makes sense.
This is my problem. This has always been my problem. I think, like, when it comes to us, is we'll just for sake of argument use Black Americans. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to us, there seems to be a notion that we have to share everything, right? Like, let's be real, because I've been listening to it for a while, even outside of us talking on the podcast, but nobody can say specifically what each group did, right? Like, where did your influence come in specifically? It sounds like we allowed you to come into the yard with us to participate in some shit that we was already doing. And then 50 years down the line, it turns into, well, we was there too, and we helped create it. And I have no problem with nobody participating. But when it happened with Kendrick, it just happened with Kendrick with his pop-out concert. There was a group of individuals said there wasn't enough Hispanic representation on there. And then they proceeded,
I've seen that.
You know what I'm saying? LA Icon specifically, I'm talking to him. You know what I'm saying? Because then they started speaking about, well, I heard it was Juneteenth, but wasn't that a massacre in Tulsa or something? So you don't even know enough about the culture to complain, because when Cinco de Mayo come up, when Puerto Rican Day parades come up, when you know what I'm saying, Jamaican Fest come up, you never hear us outside saying we didn't have enough representation.
Yeah.
We never do that to anyone. So this notion that people are trying to split up us in the community as minorities, it's not people, it's the minorities separating themselves when they win, and when they feel like somebody else is winning, trying to co-sign themselves to it. And I don't think that's fair, because we don't do it to nobody else. And I don't think it's fair that we gotta keep, like, we want to be 100% specific, the freedmen and people as slaves is the only reason why the rest of you minorities are here. White people didn't wake up one day and say, hey, you know what? Let's let the Jamaicans in. Let's let the Puerto Ricans in. No, we got bit by dogs, water hoses, lynched, hung in trees, blew up churches, beat up at lunch counters to fight for y'all to come over here and then pretend like y'all don't fuck with us. That's always been my problem.
I can see that.
I dropped my pen right there.
Word. But
no hard feelings, though.
Word. So I'm gonna play advocate a tidbit. You know what I mean? So the thing about that though is when you're a black man walking down the street, you know what I'm saying? Like the police is not pulling you over to ask you, hey, are you a black American? Are you a Jamaican American? Are you an African black or whatever like that? They see something and they target that specifically. So the one thing that I've known as far as me even just being a rapper, me being an entertainer or whatever, was that, you know, I was always told that the narrative was that the creator, or not necessarily creator, the man who brought it to the forefront of hip hop was DJ Kool Herc, who happens to be Jamaican, but he's Jamaican and he's living in the Bronx. And then what he was doing was he was spinning records at block parties. He was having these black parties and they were spinning break records. So the man who introduced the form of hip hop to what we know was DJ Kool Herc, you know what I'm saying, who happens to be Jamaican. You know, so I don't understand, you know, but again, if you're talking about the Bronx and you're talking about New York in itself is a melting pot of so many different cultures. And especially if you're talking about Caribbean. So when you're talking about Jamaicans, Puerto Ricans, whether they like it or not, Dominicans, whether they like it or not, Cubans, whether they like it or not, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of them have that African influence because it's all about the rhythm. When we came over from Africa, from the motherland, and we were brought over here, we brought over not only just some, we brought over yams, we brought over rice, we brought over music, because again, we brought over this instrument that resembled a guitar, and we brought over drums, we brought over rhythm, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of the music that we created actually cultivated and came from Africa. So just because, you know, we have different language barriers or different countries that, you know, that this black person came from and this black person came from, it still has one origin, and that's Africa. And I remember, Quez, that you know what I'm saying, you know specifically what I'm talking about. Remember, we were asked this question in choir class by Mr. Bridgewater. He asked, who created I think it was like hip hop. And you know me, I proudly said it was the Bronx, it was black people in the Bronx. And someone else said something, and he said, no. It all came from Africa. It originated in Africa because in Africa they had grits. And grits would keep the oral traditions or oral history of specific tribes or specific groups of people. And they would speak it and they would do it to a rhythm. So when we were snatched and we were brought over here, whether we were scattered out here, Timbuktu, whatever like that, we brought that with us. So it still has one origin. You understand what I'm saying?
I hear you. Who's the African Tupac?
Tupac.
Who's the African Nas? Who's the African Biggie?
Nas.
Like, no, sir. Listen, this is what I'm talking about. The co-opness, because you see how quickly Akon came over here and participated in our culture, and then he went back to Africa and said, well, I'm African, and I'm going to go home and take care of my homeland. You know what I'm saying? Akon didn't come put no money into the black community over here. He went and built up his homeland, which I appreciate. I have no problem with that. That's what you're supposed to do. But don't pretend like we didn't create a culture over here, whether it was rooted in Africa or not, whether it's rooted in our DNA, because that's just natural. You know what I'm saying? Melanated people across the planet, if we were to be serious, everybody comes from Africa.
Yep, true.
White people included. White people included, right? Like, if we're gonna go with that route, everybody's African here. We got some white ones, we got some dark ones, we got some in-betweens, we got some 77%ers, and we got some 80%ers. It just happens like that. You know what I mean? Facts. You can't really call it. You know?
Facts.
I mean,
Toothpick. You know, my step pops hit me. He said, hey, I took my DNA test. Guess what? I'm 95% African. I'm like, bastard.
95. God damn.
They didn't even bring him on a boat. He just swam over here. You know what I'm saying? He mixed with nothing. You know what I'm saying?
No, he ain't
all
mixing
salt water in Africa. That's that other 5%
He got
is
a
salt
little
water.
sprinkle.
You know what I'm saying? The
Drizzle,
other
drizzle.
5% is seasoning. You know what I'm saying?
Just give me the light. What about that guy? What did he create?
But listen, I don't want
Sean
it to
Paul,
be like
he's reggae.
Sean Paul, but I don't want it to feel like I'm denigrating anybody else's community. I'm just simply saying that when other people have their wins, we don't try to co-opt it. And they make sure to specifically say where they come from. They don't say, hey, we're over here in America and this is American culture when we win. Like we seeing it. Now it turned into Afro beats and then, you know what I'm saying? And Caribbean beats and like all of that is fine, right? I have no problem with it. All I'm saying is when it's our shit, let it be our shit. We shouldn't have to share because we're not at y'all parades. We're not at y'all cultural events saying, hey, let us on stage. We help create it because we allowed you to come over here.
But that's the thing though. But Cool Herc is Jamaican and he was playing break beats and stuff like that at these parties.
Said specifically, if we're gonna tell the story, let's tell the whole story. Because Cool Herc said specifically when he got over here, they was clowning the shit out of him because he was wearing church shoes and button-ups in the hood, you know what I'm saying, and dressing like a weirdo. And then some American blacks came and helped him out. And then when he started playing Jamaican music on that same system that he brought outside, nobody was fucking with that. He had to learn to play them break beats. He didn't think of that himself. We were already on that type of energy. Like we wasn't fucking with Jamaican music. Let's be 100% honest. What Jamaican music carried over into American hip hop that we can distinguish specifically in the 70s and 80s? You know what I mean? That didn't really happen. He said it himself. He had to conform to what was going on in the community. He may have had the money and the equipment to nationalize it, and we appreciate you for that, but that wasn't your original concept. So you can't take ownership of something because it's just like, okay, you guys got a great idea, but because I got the money, I'm gonna take all the credit because I bought the equipment. I know this is y'all shit, but let me take the, you know what I mean? I'm gonna put the money in it. I'm gonna
sounds
make
like
it.
Elon Musk.
That's all I'm saying. Sounds kind of colonizerish. You know what I'm saying?
Elon Musk.
I hear what you're saying on that one.
That's all I'm saying. You popularized something that was underground and hidden from mainstream America, and America has a tendency to uplift people who are not the descendants of slaves on purpose because they have a different perspective on life in dealing with racism and white supremacy. They don't look at it the same as us because they came over here and they feel blessed to be here while we've been here fighting for the rights that some of these people are getting, and we know what these people are capable of. That be my problem.
But why are we mad that at the end of the day it still came from the hands of a black man though? You get what I'm saying? Like so I'm not saying you, not you specifically, but why is there a whole narration of, oh well, Jamaicans did it and black again? Like I said, I mean, it wasn't until Europeans came into Africa putting borders up, you know what I'm saying, within these different countries, you know what I'm saying? But again, it all originated from the same thing. So we're talking about rhythm, we're talking about melodic stuff, we're talking about stories, we're talking about dancing. There are a lot of stuff that that we brought over that we didn't even know we brought over unless you really know your history. You know what I'm saying? So why is there even an argument? You know what I'm saying? Again, if you're talking about Jamaicans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Cubans coming from the West Indies or the Caribbean, you know what I'm saying? They all have a hand and it all originates from Africa and Black Americans. You know what I'm saying?
It's because they distinguish themselves out from us before we do it to them.
Do we count Madonna as R&B because she dated Tupac?
Man, what the?
No. she's a pop singer. She does not make R&B music,
But
even though she had Babyface, even though she had Babyface write some songs for her. Her Bedtime Stories album was actually pretty dope. You know what I mean? Because she had some Babyface influence. You know what I'm saying?
She's definitely not like us.
She smashed Tupac though.
I promise you,
she smashed Tupac and a whole lot of black folk.
Listen, I've always been for Pan-Africanism if it works. The problem is people delineate from us before we ever distinguish from them. Like, let's be honest. The black people in America culturally take care of everybody. If you broken and downtrodden and you in the gutter in the trenches with us, we cool. We gonna get you right. We ain't gonna let you walk around with no busted haircut. We ain't gonna let you walk around looking dusty. Yeah, we gonna crack some jokes because that's just what we do. We laugh through our pain. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna always get you right. We ain't gonna let nobody do nothing to you outside of the community. None of that type of stuff. It's when you finally make it and you get into a position in proximity to whiteness, you feel like it's a high priority that you denigrate the Black Americans that are still in those positions.
That gives off Jennifer Lopez vibes.
Your Stephen A. Smiths,
Jennifer Lopez,
your Roland Martins.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying,
Candace Owens. You know what I'm saying?
She was from the Bronx, and she used Living Color and all them.
Yeah, like these people.
You're right.
When y'all get to a position of power, y'all feel like y'all whole priority should be to talk shit about us that haven't made it yet, and that's what you make your political play on.
One person that always gave their credit was Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey always speaks about how he was just this poor white kid, and a black family of comedians took him in and made his career. But I was saying they were on the same show, Jennifer Lopez. She can't talk to nobody. Remember, I think Tommy Davidson tried to talk to her. A lot of people from back in the day, and she didn't want to fuck with them because she wasn't Jenny from the block. She outgrew that. And so
she wasn't even on the show. You had like a 30-second slot right before commercial.
Yeah. Speaking of that, Melvin, you're right, because the thing about it was, she was Jenny. She tried to use that. I mean, she was dating Puffy, Diddy, and then she tried to tap into her. Well, I'm from New York. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm Jenny from the block, and all this other stuff. But yeah, like you said, she had an origin. She had an origin where she started out with a Living Color. You know what I'm saying? And it just baffles me. And then especially she got caught up in that whole controversy when I think Ja Rule wrote that lyric for her in one of her songs, and she said the N-word. And she caught hell behind it.
I don't remember that. Damn.
Yeah, it was one of the lines like these niggas or something, whatever. And to me, it wasn't a big deal because again, she's Puerto Rican. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, we know what Puerto Ricans are essentially mixed with, you know what I'm saying, which is Taino, Native American, Spanish, and then African. You know what I'm saying? This is essentially their mix.
Isn't that that Mexican candy?
Boy, shut up.
I mean, with you being Panamanian, I mean, you have Taino in you too. I mean, or some type of Native American.
I know Native American. I'm 100% poor. That's all I am. That's how I identify as 100% poor. My race.
That boy retarded, man.
But yeah, I mean, so again, she had to apologize, and there was this whole thing. And to me, it was just like, I understood both sides of the story. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, what I mean? Like, she had to apologize, whatever. But again, like, with me, like, especially living out there in San Diego County and Oceanside, you know what I'm saying? Like, the beginning of my career, you know what I'm saying? I wish Jason was on here. I tagged him on here. But a lot of the cats I used to roll with when I started, like, really, like, taking it serious were Black Puerto Ricans that were from New York. And they were schooling me to a lot about hip hop, a lot about New York, about hip hop just in general. You know what I'm saying? Like shout out to Kvar, to the DJ Kvar and DJ Orson and Jason, you know what I'm saying, which I call Navaja, you know, like they schooled me to the flavor of New York because again, like we all know that hip hop itself originated within, you know, the Bronx, you know what I'm saying, within the boroughs of New York. And they schooled me to a lot to show me what MCing was actually about. You know, if I was actually going to take this serious, I had to actually study and know what it is that I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? But then, you know, we have me and Quez who were educated by the likes of Mr. Bridgewater, who actually had experience, you know, as an actual like a musician. You know, he played with the likes of Quincy Jones. He was actually in Marvin Gaye's band. You know, he did stuff with the Temptations. You know, so we learned music theory. You know what I'm saying? We learned music theory
I didn't know
stuff.
that. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's because you wasn't down there with us at the bottom of the steps.
You're not like us. Not like us.
I hung out at the vending machines with the real crazies.
I mean, you know, Mr. Bridgewater was such a real cat. Like,
Quez hung out with everybody. Quez hung out with the gangsters, the artists, the athletes, the rejects. You were just in everything.
Hey man, because I appreciate everyone.
He did.
And listen, when I speak about these groups, understand that I'm not talking about them in their entirety. It's just like, you know, us and you know, African or Black Americans. There's a section of sexy reds and you know what I'm saying? There's a section of, you know what I'm saying, well-educated Black Americans. So, you know what I mean? There's never a totality in this. But I think what the difference be is when we see our Sambos, you know what I'm saying, we call them out and we make sure to put pressure on them. And I just don't think other communities do it to the same extent that we do. But it's because we understand the severity of someone like that reaching a height that can be detrimental to the rest of the community. And when Third was saying like, oh, when the police pull you over, they don't decipher between the two. We know that. We've been trying to tell everybody else that. Like, bro, they don't see me as Panamanian. You know they don't see me as Panamanian. They don't ask you if you're gay. They don't ask you, you know what I'm saying, if you Republican or Democrat. They don't ask you none of these type of qualifying questions before they pop you. You know what I'm saying? They just see melanated skin, and depending on where you at, you a threat to their survival. So with that being said, I understand it from that perspective. But I also have to be responsible in looking after the community in regards to who we allow to speak for us. Because there's been a multitude of individuals that are out there on the national front speaking for us that we know we don't agree with. And those people don't get there by accident. Those people get there through local elections. Those people get there through local community meetings. So if you are watching this, I know you guys are hell-bent on voting for a president, but the people that really make decisions are in your neighborhood talking about you don't need reparations because they came over here and pulled themselves up by their bootstraps, or you don't need reparations because that was 200 years ago and nobody owned slaves. And how is that fair to everybody else who came over here and had to get it out the mud? Like, those are the conversations that are happening, and you guys are looking at Donald Trump and Joe Biden and trying to figure out which one of them is going to save you. It's 600 other individuals that you got to pay attention to before you get to them two that detrimental to what's going on in your life. And
but nobody's coming to save us. Nobody's coming to save us.
No one's coming. You're going to have to put these people in place. So that's why I be so adamant about why I speak. And even in terms of hip hop, I'm sorry, but I can't allow people to just come and co-op, because in 50 years from now, it'll be, you know what I mean, when in the 90s, when we was going to Supreme Courts and having congressional meetings about hip hop, I didn't see one Jamaican, I didn't see one Puerto Rican up there fighting for hip hop, because it was on a national stage. Everybody that was up there was Black American trying to prove that hip hop was just the voice of the streets. Nobody else was there.
Pitbull was up there.
That wasn't in the early 90s. Pitbull was way after that. And
He was a
nobody gives
pet
a damn
at the
about
time.
his Gatorade commercial making ass anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not talking about him.
I mean, we talking about censorship. We're fighting for censorship. Then yeah, it was Luke.
A quick side note: is Lauryn Hill,
Uncle Luke from the 2 Live Crew?
Is Lauryn Hill R&B?
She's hip hop and R&B. She's both.
Okay, she's one of my favorites.
You know, and we leave her out. You know, I think she definitely deserves to be in the top 5 as far as MCs because, you know, again, she can spit, but she can also sing. You know, she was a double threat. You know what I'm saying? So
triple. She acted too.
Oh, triple threat. I stand correct.
Yeah. The only triple threats I know, you have to pay extra for them.
Man. But I don't know. So with you, so I'm playing, kind of delving into it a little bit. You know, Melvin, with you being like of Panamanian descent, you know, how do you feel when you hear these talks?
I consider myself black. My culture is black. I was raised black, although I'm Latino as well. So my race is black, but my culture is Latino. But it's like it's just like kind of like mixed kids. Like they're black, but they're also white. You just blend into both. Because I was raised on Spanish music as well as rap music and everything else. So it's like Celia Cruz, Jose, like Enrique Iglesias Senior and Junior. The list goes on. My dad was bumping all those, and then he was bumping Mariah Carey, Aretha Franklin, all the Motown hits. So it's like I can't separate the two. That I am both. Like,
that's really interesting. So how do I word this again? Because you know I've heard people who have like Belizean blacks or Panamanian blacks. I've heard them refer to us as, well, you know, you guys. Have you ever had that stance of kind of differentiating yourself from Black Americans as opposed to like Panamanian blacks?
From day one, my mom, my dad, they're like, "You're black. That's it. You're black." I am black. That's what I can remember when I was 4. She's like, "You're black, and you got to be proud of that." And that's all. That's all she ever said. So I don't know. Like I understand like the Latino culture because we are raised that in that as well. But I always see myself as black. I don't. If it's on a census or something, I put black and Latino. But other than that, you see me and you're like, oh, he a nigga.
I mean, truthfully, if you're talking about assumptions, then yeah, when I seen you, I'm thinking that you're just purely just black. And the same thing goes for a lot of the Panamanians that I know and out there. Like I just thought that they were just essentially black.
Well, it's Latin America, but it's a different kind of a Latin culture, and there's differences and similarities. So it's not like African American, black. It's different. It's 100% different because my descendants of my immediate family, I'm first generation American, let alone first generation African American. So I'm also Latino, and so it's a different. So my dad's in Panama right now. My dad's in Panama right now. So it's
jeez. Well, I want to ask you. So, how do you feel with knowing that you're technically a Latino also?
It's like asking Obama, how do you feel if you white? It's like he's still black. He still got harassed. He still had to go through the same discrimination. He's still not, even though he was Harvard constitutional president of Harvard, they still treated him like he was just another nigga, no matter what. So it's the same. Like that's how he was raised. and it's like we consider, we don't ever question really President Obama's like anything about him. He was raised in Kansas, by white grandparents, and his mom was a hoe, and we don't really even talk about that. And or his dad was a deadbeat. We don't really talk about anything about
Oh
that.
Lord,
He was an African dead. His dad was an African deadbeat, and he grew up in Indonesia. But when you talk about him, you say he's African American, and the history books refer to him as the first African American president. And so it's like we gloss over a lot of things. But what would you call his culture? He'd spent years in Indonesia and abroad,
I
and grew
mean,
up.
but no matter where he went, though, it
It,
technically, if you want to keep it real, his
he was
father
still
is
is
African, his mother was American. So if you
yeah.
put those
So
two together, he's
African
African American. These
American,
are
yeah,
these are
He's
real
a real
African American.
yeah, but
So
yeah,
so how does that dilute the people who were here since slavery that are also
exactly.
considered African American?
That
I
that's
mean, because
the
I mean,
complexity of it.
it really is
Black
complex. It really is
It,
complex.
and that shows like how race is really a construct, how we can just pick and choose what, like in my example and myself, how we can pick and choose. I can sit here and be like, nah, I ain't black, I'm Latino, I'm blah blah, but I'm not. I get really realistically, I get to decide what I identify as. And my parents told me from day one, you black. So
So have you ever had like an identity crisis with yourself?
no, I've ever since I had like my own consciousness, my own understanding, I've been black. So I was raised black. I understood black people. I was treated black. So it's like, how can I know anything else if that's all I know?
Melvin with the afro in high school,
Yeah.
black.
Yep. And the braids. That's it. That's all I know.
I do
So
remember that.
yep, that's all I know. But it's also, I think we put ourselves in boxes when we're like, oh, I don't want to. I'm this or I'm that, because like we talked about it previously, how Dominicans or Puerto Ricans don't always see themselves as black. They think, well, I'm Dominican or I'm this, and it's like, well, technically, you also black, and we talk about how that because, and then there's colorism, so it's a complex things where we have to sit down and consider and decide, and there's no real governance to it. It's all preferential. It's all preference to ourselves. Like, what do you see as yourself as?
I mean, it's really complex because when you think about it in the sense of, I mean, it's like, yeah, you're right, but then yeah, you're wrong at the same time. And it's just like
Exactly.
now when you're looking at it, now it's being played into music. Now we're having this debate about who essentially created hip hop. But at the end of it, the root of it, to me, what I'm saying, to my point, is that the root of it is Africa. It started in Africa. Because again, even Quez, if you remember, Mr. Bridgewater asked us who created country music, who created this, who created rock and roll. And we thought that, we had it down pat. We said, oh, Elvis is the king of rock and roll. He said, nope.
Really?
I never said that. Don't put that
I'm
on
just saying. I'm just saying in general.
I didn't say Elvis.
Oh.
I'm just saying in general.
I didn't
You
say
know what I'm
that.
saying? Like
You
a
might
lot
have
of
said
people.
it.
No, a
It's
lot
a
of people would
77%.
believe. A lot of people.
My 80% would never let me say that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just throwing it out there.
I mean, a lot of people would believe that it's like Elvis, or they think somebody white, or they think that rock and roll is essentially like white music. But he had to explain it to us, like, no, it all came from Africa. Like music itself, a lot of the music that we hear today essentially came from black people. Rock and roll was actually derived from the blues. And then, even country music was derived from black folks from singing folk songs and stuff. And, a lot of music was used to give signals about when slaves were running away or doing certain things, which is why it's kind of just essential that, it was a form of communication, which is why it's essential that it's Black Music Month is in June in the same month that we celebrate Juneteenth. You know what I'm saying? Because essentially music played a huge part of our culture.
So
Even with
technically, we got 2 months then.
I mean, if you want to keep it real, you know what I'm saying? Because even within that being said, I mean, a lot of times when, when slaves were trying to get through, you know what I'm saying, they were singing the spirituals, like church hymns and stuff, like soul music. They was out there singing hymns, which is why, it's embedded into our DNA, which is why we create some of the stuff that we're doing. If you're just coming up with a natural just hymn, or some people just have just natural gifts. That's why I was asking you guys, where are your tops? Because essentially, we have talented people around us that come within our culture that help push the culture forward. And I don't even think they necessarily get their props.
I think the church was original slavery. That's my stance.
Yeah, we're not going into that tonight.
They were used as control.
That's a whole different segment.
It's the same thing. Like, you just got me thinking.
He's
just saying they're singing hymns, and I was like, they use those same hymns to control.
Okay, so since we're talking Black people, we're talking Juneteenth, we're talking Black Music Month. We're gonna put a stop to that. So
hold on, listen. This is where my discrepancy comes real quick, because no matter what culture you're from, there are certain situations that develop each of those individual situations culturally, right? Like, I could never understand merengue or try it. You know what I mean? I could learn about it and you know what I'm saying, participate from an outsider's view, but I could never really understand the culture of where it came from and why y'all developed that, right? So it's the same thing. All of those things, reggae, you know what I'm saying, other cultures of music, Latino music, like all of this, if we're saying everything came from Africa, everything came from Africa. But then there's certain cultural experiences that shape into different forms based off what those people are going through, what they have access to. But like, that be my point. There's certain things we can't co-sign on just because we all came from Africa. I can't go over here and say, well, shit, today I'm gonna just start singing reggae because I like it. And we all from Africa, remember? You know what I'm saying? And I smoked some weed before, and you know what I'm saying? I like jerk chicken, and let me come be part. Like, that would be culturally insensitive. What would it not? You know what I'm saying? That would be some culturally insensitive shit to do.
But
because we all from Africa.
But playing off of that, I mean, a Jamaican man was in the Bronx, started playing break music, whether he got it from this person or that person.
Do we count Eminem as part of the culture?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, he definitely counts as
he is hip hop culture,
because he was here to participate in it.
He lived it.
He is hip hop culture. Yeah, I mean, because he's the one of the ones who will give credit to where credit is due. You know what I'm saying?
That's the catch.
The same thing with
Jamaicans started hip hop. I just happened to be here while this was going on, and I elevated it to the world with all the things that I had access to that maybe these individuals that have been doing it for 10, maybe 15 years didn't have the ability to bring out like that. That's the difference.
Right.
Makes sense.
Are we saying Universal is responsible for Kendrick creating Not Like Us?
Nope.
That came from Universal, because they have the machine behind him, and they made sure that he put out To Pimp a Butterfly and Damn, and you know what I'm saying, Section 80.
Playing Advocate,
Universal, Kendrick wouldn't be.
I mean, playing Advocate, Universal is the same machine behind Drake too. So you know what I'm saying. So
my point. So do we give credit to Universal, or do we give credit to the culture?
So the thing is with Eminem, you know what I'm saying, and it's ironic that we play Lord Jamar, because Lord Jamar will call Eminem a guest in hip hop. You're a guest. But Eminem has always gave props to where hip hop came from. He would say, like, this is where I learned this from. But Eminem being growing up and cultivated in Detroit, you know what I'm saying, he will ultimately give it up to his favorite rappers. Or like, it's Tupac, it's Biggie, it's Redman, Method Man. You know what I'm saying, Andre from Andre 3000.
That doesn't make him a guest though.
You said what?
So that still doesn't make him a guest. He's a guest.
You believe
because
that?
at any moment, let's be truthful and let's be honest. Even going through all of that, the same moment that we enter into certain situations, Eminem can turn off his participation with the black community and be white again. That's what makes him a guest. Now, is he a phenomenal rapper? Absolutely. Is he culturally accepted? Absolutely. But you're still a guest. Just because you get to come to all the 4th of July functions, just because you get to come over on Juneteenth, that don't make you part of the family. We accept you like family, but technically you're not really family. You know what I'm saying? But
I hear what you're saying.
We accept you as such. You always welcome to come over, bro, because you cool.
You could come to the barbecue.
Kick it. You know what I'm saying? You come kick it, bro.
But
it came on. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm gonna play advocate. I'm gonna play advocate real quick. So with this form that we call drop your 3 cents. So when people come through and they drop their 3 cents, they give their thoughts, they give their views, they give their opinions. Are they not contributors?
Absolutely. But are they the host? No.
They're not the host, but are they family?
But some of them are hoes.
What the?
They're not the host, but they hoes. Just throwing that out there.
You get what I'm saying? So the thing is with Eminem,
that they can come up and participate, but they're still just guests. They're not third. They're not Melvin. They're not Marquez. They're not Tisha. They're not D. We are the host. The rest of you are guests, and we appreciate you participating with us and coming and enjoying the festivities that we do.
But do we not consider them like as family? You know what I'm saying? So again, they're contributors.
Some of them we do. Some of them hating apparently because they shut our show down. So fuck them.
Apparently,
you know what I'm saying? Everybody can't be family.
And to whoever hated a father funk you, your mom's was passed around like a garden tool on a good hot Saturday evening, you know what I'm saying, on all that.
There's
you know
always a Sambo that's gonna come in here and tether on to what we got going because they look like us. They may act like us, but they not really us. They're just tethers. You know what I'm saying? They sneak through because they fit the description. Like we can't say everybody on the stream is family because obviously them people that was on the stream an hour ago was family, and look what happened.
Yeah, Greg, Pastor Sauls, all those people.
What the fuck?
Hold up. Greg is my actual family.
I know.
That's my blood. Greg. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't playing a hard time. I ain't playing that shit. I ain't playing that shit, especially with that side of the family. That side of the family.
Do you see how your argument has holes in it? You know what I'm saying? And that's why you got to be very vigilant and have discernment around the people you let in the camp until we figure out what the strategy is as a whole. You know what I mean? That's where we're at in America right now. It's not that we don't have anything against any other community, but until we figure out who's who, because we check the fuck out of our Sambos, when y'all figure out how to check yours, then then we can build from there. But as long as there's just random Sambos running around here,
I feel you. I feel you and everything that you say. Yeah. I feel you, my brother.
So you saying Eminem could be a mole?
No. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that at the end of the day,
good comments.
This is what I'm saying. At the end of the day, Eminem still gets to be white when it's all said and done.
I hear you.
No matter what lyrics he puts on,
I feel you on that one.
Like no matter who he hangs out with, the Dr. Dre's, the game.
He's part of the culture.
50 cents. When Eminem gets stopped in his car by himself, he's still Caucasian.
That's all I'm saying.
He gets the benefit of the doubt that most of us don't get.
But aren't like white Africans still African?
No,
man,
not.
You went there with it.
Well,
why not? If they were born in Africa and they could trace their lineage, aren't they still African?
No.
Man,
Are
that
they
is
not
such a
black?
heavy, complex
They're not
question.
black, but they're African.
I get what you're saying, but
that is such a complex.
So I'm saying,
Man.
if Eminem was
I just
born
can't.
in the culture
I can't.
and he's always lived the culture and he knows nothing but the culture, then
But
how
that's
is he
the
not
problem.
part of the
Eminem was
culture?
not born into the culture.
He all his friends were black. He only knew black.
Eventually,
No, they were always
Eminem-
that
It
way.
wasn't always.
yeah, Eminem wasn't born into the culture.
He was born.
Eminem was
black.
born into poverty. You know what I'm saying? Which is
That's
part
the
of the culture, but
Yeah.
that's not the culture as a whole. There's still
No.
things you got to learn about the culture, even though you may be over there.
I think he's part of the culture because all he does is promote.
Absolutely. I'm not saying he's not. He's still a guest though.
I don't think
we're not.
Hey, but let me play triple advocate though. I mean, but at the same time, I mean, how many other black artists did he put on? He put on Obi Trice.
That's
he
what I
put on
said.
D12, and then he brought out the biggest artist of all time, which was 50. You know what I'm saying?
50 Cent.
Because the same black folks within his own community was blackballing 50. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for Eminem, you know what I'm saying, 50 would still been like trying to get on. Now when you look at everything, now that you look at everything that 50 has power, vitamin water. He's over here building production studios in Louisiana. He's out here putting more people on and creating more wealth for the community. So how is he not? Eminem is a huge contributor because he sat out there and sidestepped a lot of what the Irv Gotti's. Irv Gotti tried to blackball him. Diddy didn't really fuck with him like that. I mean, again, so this is what we're talking about. Eminem is a huge contributor.
To me, he's
and
more
he made
African
Dr. Dre
than,
lots of money.
He's more African than Akon. That's just me.
Culturally, yes. Culturally, in America, he is. He's more African American culturally than Akon. I can give you that.
Yeah,
but
that's what I think.
This is my problem. Listen, this white savior complex. Like, I appreciate him for what he does. He's a phenomenal lyricist, but he's still a guest.
I don't think he's a guest.
He will always be a guest.
Oh,
because he didn't grow up completely in the culture.
Macklemore.
Now, is he phenomenal? Is he invited to the cookout? Do he get to spend the night at grandma and auntie Nem's house? Absolutely. He's the one cool white boy that everybody love. Your mama love him. Your grandma love him. You know what I'm saying? She make him an extra fish sandwich when the rest of y'all got to go outside and play. You know what I'm saying? All of that happens, and that's a beautiful thing. But that doesn't stop you from being a guest. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, he's still a guest, and it's not denigrating to say that you're a guest. If I took my black ass to Europe and put on some clogs and wanted to river dance, I'm a guest over there, no matter how good I am at that shit. If I get over there and get the river dancing with them clogs on, I'm still a guest. That doesn't mean just because I know how to do this shit well and I get the heel toeing and crip walking with these wooden shoes on, now I'm the best. Then they say he's part of the culture. No, I'm a guest, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's all I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with being a guest in a community that fucking loves you. We love Eminem. Yep. Eminem killed some of the best black rappers out here. Eminem's gonna kill Future. Eminem's gonna kill Drake. Eminem's gonna kill, you know what I'm saying, a numerous amount of individuals that claim that they can rap today. He's gonna destroy them.
Yeah,
we know this. We know as the black
community. What's your question, Jess?
Maybe you should leave this white man alone because he's crazy. But he's with us.
Okay, so Quest.
Mm-hmm.
You go to Africa. Are you a guest?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That was a good question.
I don't know shit about African culture over there. I'm a guest when I get there.
But what if you do know about African culture? What if you studied on it?
Studying
one,
doesn't make me a part of the culture. Just
because well, what if you got it from your grandparents?
Wait, Mr.
Your great grandparents.
But I didn't. You're asking.
But what if you did though?
But what if you did?
Are you still a guest?
You did. Then you might not be a guest. But me personally, I'm gonna be a guest because I'm not a part of their culture. I don't know what their cultural habits are, what their traditions are. Holistically, I'm a guest when I get over there.
Even though you may come from, you may be of it.
Like Melvin, for instance, if he goes to Panama, he said he's the first generation here in America.
American, yeah.
So if
I'm a guest in Panama. I'm a guest in Panama. I know about the culture. I was raised in it, but I'm American. I'm not Panamanian. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know the ins and outs of their, like, everybody knows what street to go to. Everybody knows the best shops to go to. Everybody has the same habits down there. I don't have that from that culture in Panama, so I'll be a guest over there.
So then let me play triple quadruple advocate. So would that mean that we should stop calling ourselves African Americans?
I'm not.
I've been stopped. I only did it for the show.
I call myself poor. That's what I've been.
Shit, I ain't gonna never say that.
Are we just Americans? Should we be outside celebrating 4th of July?
Nope.
I'm a foundational Black American, sir. Every day of the week. My ancestors built this country for free.
Should have been born on Juneteenth.
Yeah, my ancestors are the foundation of this country, whether it's under the soil or on top of it. We built this shit for free, and we never got paid. And all the innovations and patents that y'all stole from my people and burnt down communities, and the Rosewoods and the Black Wall Streets and the Devil's Punch Bowls, and you know what I'm saying, all the lakes and the parks in New York that y'all created over Black communities, and we just pretend like it didn't happen. You goddamn right. I'm a foundational Black American.
Yep.
Emphasis on America.
Shout out to everybody who's just tuning in. If you can do me a favor, hit the like, the heart button, tap that love button. Make sure that you're also hitting the share button. Share this on with your feed. We're talking about ethnicity. What ethnicity created hip hop? There's been talk, from KRS-One saying that, essentially that Puerto Ricans played a huge part in the creation of hip hop. And then we had Lord Jamar who refuted that, So, please hit the like and share button. If you got your 3 cents that you want to drop, oh, damn it, I forgot to drop the link in the damn comment section because y'all had it on the other link. But anyway, I mean, if you guys want to come on, just put up the number 3 in the comment section. I will send you the link personally to put you on. But yeah, this is it's been something that's been kind of crazy because, I mean, even within hip hop, I see that now that there's a divide. You know what I'm saying? Something that essentially that was used to bring people together, which is music. Music universally will bring any culture together. And I see that now that there's a great divide within the genre of music that I love, the genre of music that I even participate in. But again, just like I told you, like when moving out to San Diego County, I was embraced by New York Puerto Ricans who showed me hip hop. There was Timberlands and wave caps and or do rags and all this stuff that showed me about hip hop from the stance of, especially with them coming from the Bronx and Brooklyn. They gave me that flavor. And then what I learned from the West Coast, and then turned around and mixed it in with my own little gumbo to create what you call Third Degree. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, they learned it. They learned it from a place, just like, again, they're born in the Bronx. They're from the Bronx. They're around Black folks that look just like us. You know what I'm saying? So was there a divide even then? Or did they come universally together to help create this genre?
And I think that's the point that most people are missing. During that time frame, as much as you say New York is a melting pot, New York was segregated just as much culturally as it may be now. You know what I'm saying? As America may be now. There's little Italies, there's little Chinatowns, there's little Puerto Ricos, there's little, like, you know what I mean? People make a distinction to separate their section specifically. The only people who don't do that are white people and Black Americans. You know what I'm saying? Like, because everything is
we
white
had little
people.
Africa.
Yeah, white people don't have to distinguish because all this shit theirs. You know what I'm saying? In their eyes. You know what I mean? So they don't have to make a little Europe town. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to do that. But
well, Italy is part of Europe, right?
Yeah, Italy is the niggas of Europe. So you know what I'm saying? That's how they view it. You know, I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? Sicily and all that. Like y'all the black people of Europe. That's how they view y'all. So that's really how it goes. All I'm saying is, you know what I mean? The only people who really don't distinguish.
Shout out to the cockroach of Europe.
Whoa, shit! I ain't say all that, bro. Hey, don't do that. I ain't do that. They still got organized crime, boy. I don't mess with them. I don't mess with them families.
They on the ish for real.
Yeah, I don't even play with them like that, but they know what I'm talking about. But you know, us as Black Americans, we are the only people who don't give a damn about the distinguishing lines. We accept everybody, but now that we've reached a point in 2024, and people are starting to realize, like, hey, look, since the 60s on up, when we fought to get y'all over here, we thought we were bringing over allies, and people started to go into their own separate corners and then kind of point back at us like, well, why these black people that's been here since slavery ain't got their shit together yet? We just got here 10 years ago, and look how much we've done and how much we've accomplished.
But if you're talking about Puerto Ricans, they've already been here. They've been here with us too. It just they
were not, sir. Puerto Ricans were not here prior to like 1920, 1930. Like we were fighting from that point forward to get these people over here. Puerto Ricans were not welcomed over here like that. It's just like saying
very, very true on that regard. But at the same time, you got to remember. So to be real with you, that I hate putting this business out there, but you know, my pops, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's essentially he's a descendant from Cuba. You know what I'm saying?
So 77 comes from.
So I'm saying this is my step pops. So again, so Cuba, Puerto Ricans, Jamaicans, essentially, you know what I'm saying, they were out here too. So at some point, we're talking about massa. We're talking about massa. They would bring folks from the islands and bring them here to the States too. That's what I'm trying to say. I get what you're saying, Chris.
These people were here in very minute numbers, right? If you were
okay, I'll give you that. That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
These people were not here in masses. You know what I'm saying?
True. I'll give you that. That's true.
These are very minute numbers. And when they brought them, they had a specialty that white people could exploit for them to be here. That there was already a labor force here that you didn't need to go out and venture out to grab more people. You know what I'm saying? You were already buck breaking people. You already mating the strongest woman slave with the strongest black man slave, whether they were mother and son or cousins or brothers and sisters. You were already doing that. You were creating a super race without knowing it.
That's where
was
take over your.
They were going to take over your Olympics, your NBA, your NFL, and everything else, and you did that unknowingly, but you were already doing it. So there was no need to bring these other people from outside of the country in here because you already had a dominated race that you were participating in life with. But that race right there decided to stand up and said, hey, this is some bullshit. Like, we cool on this. Like, bro, it's time to go to war. And then when we did that, we opened the floodgates and made them make a decision that, like, look, you got to let some of our people over here because we ain't participating with this. And then when the people got over here, they said, Well, shit, we wasn't slaves. What's going on? What's y'all white folk got going on over there? How we get over there with y'all? That's really what happened.
For some, I hear what you're saying. That's true.
Yeah,
for
not
some.
all. Not all. I'm
some.
not saying all. But I'm just saying there was a group of people that's like, well, shit, we over here now. What they got cracking over there? I'm trying to live like them.
Essentially, what Melvin was saying with the Jennifer Lopez's. You know what I'm saying? You was Jenny from the block, but once you got over, like, hey, what's up with y'all over here? Like, then all of a sudden, like now that she's not really cracking, or she needs her music to pop off, she has to kind of go back to being Jenny from the block and go get back in touch with us. But at this point, we like, nah, you stay over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
Jenny has been blocked. You know what I'm
saying?
Yeah,
because we don't even know that you're really Puerto Rican. You don't really embrace your Puerto Rican culture like that. Not until she married, like, Mark Anthony. You know what I mean? Like, but even still, it was kind of like, are you really Puerto Rican? Like, we forgot for the fact that she's actually Puerto Rican, and she actually has African in her. Direct African. You know what I mean?
Only when Mace and P. Diddy are around. That's the only time she had African in her.
Whoa.
And on that note, you know what I mean? Like, it's getting that time.
God.
We had some technical difficulties, and also I want to send a special note to some folks out there who are watching, all in the video, stealing. You know what I'm saying? You could try to sit there and emulate, you know what I'm saying? But there's one key ingredient that you're missing for your shit that you're trying to do like us.
Yeah, Dylan.
And that's the sauce.
Yeah, Dylan, we got you.
I don't know what the fuck Dylan is, but but on that note, you know what I'm saying? My eyes are getting heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's getting around that time. I know it's about to be like tomorrow for Quez out there. You know what I'm saying? And we see Melvin about to be on Melvin mode right now. So he's busting on mission.
Driving home to Marietta.
I thought you were going to Mexico. You know what I'm saying? It's about that time he goes sell empanadas and sells his toes.
Gotta go to King Kong. Hong Kong. Gotta go to Hong Kong out there.
But it's been real. Sorry about the technical difficulties earlier. We had a hater. I think there's people who are watching us who want to try to be like us, but they can't. You know what I'm saying? So they funking with the numbers. But oh well, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But you can't stop an inevitable force. So we doing our thing. Shout out to Quez. Shout out to Melvin. Shout out to Jess for holding it down. We shall return. We'll see you sometime next week.
Sir. Shout out to yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Accolades.
Take your praise. Take your flowers, sir.
I appreciate you.
All the extra work you put into this production. I just show up late. You do a lot of shit. I just show up late. So shout out to you.
That is a fact. Show up late talking shit. Getting us canceled. You do that very well, sir.
I can't get canceled. I'm retired.
Hey, yo, I kind of wanted to do like another ancestry, I want to do like another ancestry episode where we talk about our roots. And this is interesting. We keep talking about the fundamentals of our roots, man, and this is dope. You know what I'm saying? I think we need
we're gonna have to get somebody else to host it. So get your step pops to come host it because we need somebody that got some African ancestry. Like, you can't do that. Like, yeah.
Hey, Tommy, I see you, man. Like, I don't know why I don't see the comments.
Like, you got to see it in class, bro. We need like 3.0 and 4.0 students to host.
Hey, Tommy,
episode.
Hold up. I know I just seen that. I don't know why it's not popping up on my They really funking with us. So yeah, to be a guest. Yeah, so to be a guest, there's the link in the comments. I have it pinned. Go to the top of the comments, and you can hit that. If not, we could always just wait till tomorrow. We'll give it like a good 5 more minutes before we end the show. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we had technical difficulties. Normally we start at 6:00, but again, I think we had a hater that reported us. I wonder. We got people who be watching this, so even just outside of Facebook, we have people who actually watch us. They hit me up in the drop your 3 cent email saying like, "Hey, I watched the show. Would it help elevate it?" And then so people.
Why don't they always come on? They should come on.
Man, because they watch, they just love to just be guests or just viewers. They love to watch because we put on the show. Just like you heard some people say, like some people be in hospitals, You know what I'm saying? And they tune into us, and we give them that moment of relief. You know what I'm saying? From whatever they're going through, whatever's going on in their life, we give them that moment of relief with just the simple banter that we have amongst ourselves. We do it enough to where we make it entertaining. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know, when we created this whole platform, it was to be the voice of the unheard. You know what I'm saying? So we get so many platforms that people coming on and they think they're the big shit. You know, they think that they're just their opinion matters and the whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, but they don't include anybody else. But we actually include our guests. We want to hear what you say. Your opinion matters. And we put it on the platform and we have talk with you just like you're a common folk just amongst us. And whether we agree or disagree.
If they were in the hospital third, did we ever kill anybody then?
Nah,
hey man,
nah, we've been the medicine to help uplift folks.
I'm trying to make co-defendant on shit. I don't know nothing about that.
Have our comments bored somebody to sleep or like put them in a coma?
Just you.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you want to be a guest, you know, we'll pop the link. We'll pop the link in the comment section. We'll keep it up top, and you just hit that. You come on through. We're working on creating we have a Facebook page for Drop Your 3 Cent, so we're gonna add folks into there. We're creating this. This is a whole community. So again, I just want to reiterate that this is a community of folks where we sit there and we network. We have Quez, who's in the business of marketing, and he also helps build up generational wealth. He also helps within the travel business, him and his queen. We have Jess here who does treats. She does special arrangements for hats, like especially for graduations. She does certain things. We have T, she does live scanning and she does notary. We have D, who's who D sells jewelry and she sells hair. And,
cocaine.
This mother.
She does not.
Disclaimer: she does not do all that.
Bro, you finna, man. She gonna come back.
This is people where we network. Again, ain't nobody gonna have us but us. So if we got services that we can utilize, like if you need some cakes, you can hit up Jess. If you need to travel somewhere, hit up Quez and his queen. If you need someone to help put you through school, help put your kid through school. Melvin's over here, creating scholarships to help send.
Hey man, you need to donate to Melvin's cause because he's actually out here doing what the community says doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? He's creating access for these individuals who may never have a chance to get a higher education, to get a jump start, so that they can have a little bit of comfort when they get there, even if they earn scholarships, even if they, have 4.0s or sports scholarships. There's a lot that goes into college. When you get there, you still have to feed yourself. You still have to clothe yourself. You know what I'm saying? So these scholarships help buy books, all that great stuff. So, donate to my brother, man. I stand with him every time I see it.
A lot of times you may have a 4.0, but that doesn't mean you didn't struggle. There's homeless 4.0 students, homeless valedictorians. So every kid has a story. And they may seem like they're good, but a lot of kids are going through hunger and other things, adversity and childhood trauma. So that is a true thing.
Amen.
And don't forget, Quez mentors the youth. We didn't throw that out there too.
He does.
So
we're all
working together, man. To get
we're
this
all
community.
working together. Just like what we used to learn in choir, we're all different voices, but we sit up there, we use our voices to harmonize and work for a common goal. And we sing to a great tune. So we all come together and we make it work.
Hey, listen, we all working together to get rid of all the sexy reds and all the Drakes in the community.
Amen.
Amen. Because they not like us.
Nope.
Period. And on that note, we're gonna see you next week. We love you. Later. Thank you for tuning in.
Hey, love y'all, man.
Love you too. Drop your 3 cents. Stay well, prosper, be safe. Peace.
Have a good night, guys.
You too.
Bye.